Well, today marks the World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims, a global observance held every year on the third Sunday of November. It is a day dedicated to honoring the millions of people who have lost their lives or suffered life-changing injuries on the world's roads, and to stand in solidarity with the families and communities left behind. In Nigeria, the day carries particular weight. The country continues to struggle with high fatality rates, weak post-crash responses, risky road user behavior, and limited support for victims and their families. Well, this is why road safety advocates say these challenges highlight the need for stronger enforcement and improved infrastructure. As a call to action, a candlelight walk will take place today ahead of the International Road Crash Victims Africa Conference. Participants highlight the urgent need for stronger action to prevent avoidable deaths and injuries. Osita Chidoka, former Minister of Aviation, he joins us now to speak more on this. Glad to have you join us.
Thank you very much.
Good. Let's start with the real purpose for this day.
Well, today is World Crash Victims Remembrance Day. It started with a lady in 1996 who lost a son in a motor crash. A driver trying to beat the red light hit her son, Mashood, and Bridget Chaudhry founded Road Peace and started this Saturday, third Sunday of November, to celebrate accident victims, crash victims. And in 2005, the United Nations adopted it, and it became a global event, which is what I say about the power of an individual. The power of individuals to seek for social change is quite enormous. And there are many other examples like that. If you enter your car today and in the boot of your car, you can able to open the car from inside, is because a woman who lost a child in the boot of her car decided to campaign for that to become a feature of cars. So the World Remembrance Day is a tribute to Bridget. And today in Nigeria, we marked it specially because another woman who lost a son in a road crash. The son was hit by a vehicle, a reckless driver, and he didn't die on the spot. But many people there were afraid of taking him to the hospital because police issues, asking questions, what to do, and they abandoned him by the roadside, and he died. And that woman is Justice Monica Menson, the president of the Court of Appeal today.
Oh.
She is that woman. In 2011, she walked into my office at FRSC with tears in her eyes, very sad, bitter. She just lost a son who was going to law school, and she was pained. But I welcomed her. We had a long, nice chat, and she said she had formed an NGO to push against, for accident victims and for greater road safety. So I supported her, and we started the KRSD, which is her NGO, and that KRSD in 2021, we celebrated 10 years. And this year, she did something phenomenal, something unbelievable. Whenever I say road safety in Nigeria, people tend to think about FRSC. Road safety is not coterminous with FRSC. I was co-marshal of FRSC, but road safety is the issue of making our roads safe.
Safe, all right.
Yes, this one is federal road safety. So road safety is a passion for me. It wasn't a job. I chose it when President Obasanjo wanted to appoint me. I chose to be in FRSC because I also lost my mother's sister who carried me from child, and I grew up with her. She taught me to read, brilliant lady. She went to University of Maiduguri, and on her way back from school in December of 1984, she had a crash at Wukari, and they didn't know she was bleeding internally, and she couldn't get help, and she died. And I had an uncle, her senior brother, who was in that car, who till today carry one hand from that
because
crash.
of accident. So let's talk about.
So
This is, I mean, you've just talked about recognizing, the grief and then the trauma suffered by all those affected, including you.
yes.
Is there any personal touch? In other words, how are you ameliorating their predicament or reaching out to these people worldwide? Then we'll bring it down home where we are concerned.
Yes. So the point I'm making is we are all victims in Nigeria. January to September this year, FRSC reported that 3,900 people have died from road crashes. That's 14 people every day. And this is a 10% rise from 2024. 24,000 people have been injured in January to September. Now, of these 24,000 that has been injured, that were injured, reported injured, I'm sure another 10% passed away from the effect of that road crash. Because we normally calculate if you die 100 days after a road crash, you're still considered to have died from it. So that 24,000 is 90 persons per day. Now, if 3,924 people die, that's the equivalent of 14 aircraft with 200 passengers crashing every day.
14 aircraft with 200 passengers.
200 passengers.
Crashing
yes.
every day.
Yes, crashing in that 9 months period.
Yeah, the period.
So that means that we'll have had one plane crash every month.
So then we're
that
talking
will not have been acceptable to anybody.
At all.
So, but now because it's happening to the roads, I am saying this is a justice issue. It's not an access issue. When we had this type of crashes in 2005-06, the whole country reacted. But this year, 3,900 people, according to FRSC data, have died from road crashes. So we're all victims in Nigeria. And then if we continue this trend of 10% growth every year, because this is 10% growth to 2024, if we continue this growth, it means that by 2030, we will have lost about 65,000 people from road crashes.
And that brings me to then my next question. What is being done to reduce these incidences, this very unpalatable picture that you're painting? Aside the bad attitude by road users, what about the fact that bad roads contribute a lot to these incidences?
So bad road is a significant factor. Roads are a significant factor in a crash because there are three factors that mix in a road, for a road crash. So there is the road, there is the driver, and these are the two people, these are the two forces that interact on the road. And so if you talk about the road, it's a significant portion. But the FRSC data says that 65% of these crashes were caused by overspeeding. So there are two factors here. When the road is bad, people navigate the bad road. Once they get to the good part of the road, then everybody takes off, trying to cover for lost time. So that's one factor. Second factor is that 70% of the crashes in Nigeria were caused by commercial drivers, commercial vehicles. So the fuel tankers, the cement tankers, they are the culprits because we're talking about drivers. They are the critical factor in a road crash. So when I was Corps-Marshal, my emphasis is on road enforcement. But beyond enforcement, we need to train these drivers. We need to make it mandatory that these drivers, especially commercial drivers, because 70% of the crashes are from commercial vehicles. You know, FRS is an interesting organization. It keeps very good data. And we know where the crashes are happening. We know where. Because when I was in FRSC, we installed SAP Business Intelligence. So we know where the crashes are occurring. FRSC reported that Lagos, Ibadan, Abuja, Kaduna, Oyo State, Kaduna State are the major culprits. So we know the locations. And we know the problem, speed. And we know 70% are commercial drivers. We need to do something about it.
So what are we doing about it?
We just need to do something about it. So my program, my support for for Monica Menson, of the Court of Appeal, my Lord, is that she has done what most Nigerians don't do. She didn't just walk away because her son died. She said, I don't want other people to go the same way. Yeah. And she has remained focused and dedicated that in 2025, she has gathered African countries to come together again in Abuja, the International Road Crash Victims Conference going on in Abuja, to discuss the plight of victims. This for me it brought me out of my shell because I normally don't want to talk about the Federal Road Safety Corps. I made a rule that I will not talk about my successors. I will only give them advice because I have access to them. So I talk to them behind the scene. But this effort by Mrs. Monica Menson spurred me on because I can't just believe that she will have the passion and sustain it to this date. So just like Bridget did that has gone global, Mrs. Monica Menson has done something. Now the question I want to ask is, are we going to institutionalize what she has done, just like the world institutionalized what Bridget has done?
That's why we'll leave it, Osita Chidoka, former Minister of Aviation. Are we going to institutionalize what she has done? I hope that those who are responsible are listening.
And tomorrow at the conference, I will offer the solutions.
Yeah.
There are quick solutions we can do to fix this.
Fantastic. Because we must talk about the problems and talk about the solutions. Otherwise, we're wasting time. Thank you for being on the program.